Okie dokie. Daryl as a service. How's your team's activity right now? A lot of chat going on? Been added to a lot of teams? Notifications going everywhere? Poppity pop 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 chat stuff? You're still part of this conversation? You were part of this meeting? How about that left side there with all those channels, all those teams? Bit busy? Here's my 10 cents worth. Yeah, look, I know you're busy. I know we're all busy. I know that there's a lot of organizations shifting to Microsoft Teams, but there's a lot of enthusiasm too as people are creating these teams. My 10 cents worth, sometimes you're creating teams because you want to work on a document. Great, work on a document, but maybe that's not the reason to create a team. Maybe you're just pulling together a group of people because you've got an idea. Cool, that's okay too. But I just want to encourage you that look to see, first of all, if there is another team or another channel that you could use. I've got a video about that, so I'll loop that in for those of you who are on YouTube, and I'll drop that in a bit later on. Oh, that corner. But what I do want to go through is just some core things around trying to get this stuff under control. And I've really got to ask a few things, actually. Let's go through here. Where are we? Clickety click. It's never about perfection with me. This statement is true, isn't it? You have been added to a lot of teams. You're getting invites popping up everywhere. There's leaders that are creating their teams for their business units. There's people who have got projects and they're like, right, let's do this on Teams right now because we're all working from home. Good. Yeah, good for you, right? But a bit like that saying, you can't see the wood for the trees. You can't seem to see the work for the teams. So here's 3 really key things I want you to keep in mind as you're managing your teams lists. And we're going to have a look at this soon. Pin, hide, and leave. Pin. If something is important to you, let's pin it. If it's something that is not important, but you might want to refer back to it because you're currently involved but not so much, hide it. If you're not involved anymore, don't worry, you can always come back, but feel free to leave. It's perfectly fine, all right? Now let's see if I can get this going properly. See if my screen's still sharing over here. Yes, it is. Good-o. Well, that's magnificent, Daryl. That's a really interesting looking screen. A screen within a screen. But anyway, here we go. We'll try and do this on the pen. I see this as kind of a circle thing. Right now, there's some things that are important to you right now. Okay, they might be the business unit that you belong to. Definitely keep in the loop there. Those are the people that you've been hired in to join that team. It's your day-to-day support unit. It's the people that you need to keep in touch with. Right, so that's cool. There might also be a couple of important projects and customers and initiatives that you are working on. All right, so that is, let's say, BU for business unit, projects, customers, a few that you're involved in. Then there's this other stuff. Right, these are things that you might have been involved in the past, or things that you've been invited to, but it's a bit chaotic right now and people haven't really got it organized. So think about that as your kind of level 2 and that things aren't as important. And lastly, kind of, organization wide, keeping in the loop with other things that are going on. So I want you to really focus on that middle circle. That's the important stuff right there. Okay, that's when people need your assistance. You're involved directly in their work. You're enabling them. And, for those of you who are in IT watching this, this is a really hot circle right now. You need to be enabling your people to be able to work from home and meeting their needs. But yeah, for other stuff out here and out here, feel free to hide it or leave it. So let's shove this off over here, get rid of that, and get into some actual demo. Okay, let's try this one for size. I know it's a demo environment. It actually doesn't reflect anything like what my work environment is right now. Let's just say that I'm invited to more than 100 teams, and they're all kind of vying for attention because of all the stuff that's going on right now. So I can't show you that, of course, for privacy reasons. But what I can show you is a demo environment and talk about that list right there on the left-hand side. So I have some teams. We have that one that I've been building with you, and there's some more episodes coming for that. So just ignore that right now, but I'm part of a leadership team in this demo environment. I'm part of a project team, maybe a 2 or 3 projects. I'm also part of the Contoso IT team. I might be part of a retail team, right? So depending on what your role is. So there's a whole lot of teams and stuff right here that I might be involved in. All of those teams, because they're visible, you look at this thing and you're like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Where do I see? What do I do to manage these messages that are coming in, people trying to get a hold of me? You should be using your activity feed. Okay, that is your inbox for Microsoft Teams. Go there, and if people are mentioning you, that means that they want your attention. They're trying to loop you in. They're important. Of course, if they're also marking it as important, that's important too. But if they're just mentioning things like the channel, or maybe they're not even bothering to mention, then it's not really something that you need to get involved in, right? Use this activity feed. But back to our teams list. If this is really busy, go back to our principles, which were pin, hide, leave. Pin. All right. I'm involved in my day-to-day team, and I need to keep in the loop for what is going on in Contoso IT. It could be whatever team you're in. You could be in a sales team or something to do with operations. Here's a channel that's important to me because not in this demo, but in real life, I'm meeting in there every day, catching up with my team. So that's important. Pin it. This is what you can do with a channel. Use the ellipsis menu, the 3 dots, and pin it. Look what happens. Jump on up to the top. There we go. Top of the list, something that's important to me. At a glance, I can see what's going on there. I don't have to traverse the whole list and go, where am I going? Right? So I could be somewhere here in events. And, there's a message for someone's mentioned the whole team. Someone's mentioned that channel. Someone's mentioned me. Boom, straight in. Pin the channels that are important to you. Only the channels that are important to you. Feel free to unpin them when they're not important to you, right? How about leaving teams? Not leaving teams. No, we're doing hiding teams. Yeah, okay. So we've got a bunch of teams. Let's just say that there's some down here that I'm not directly involved in all the time, but I probably still need to be a member of because people might loop me into conversations. So let's hide them. I don't need to see Contoso sales right now. So let's hide that. Probably not sales and marketing right now. Let's hide that. La-di-dee, la-di-da. Hiding, hide. Oh, someone's mentioned me in there. It's important. Of course it's important. Although, hey Ian, this was a while ago, right? So I probably actioned that since it was back in September. Alright, so we'll hide that one as well. Okay, now that's hiding stuff, hiding teams, hiding channels perhaps. I'm not really interested right now in... Actually, I'm interested in all of those things in Contoso IT, but I might not be interested in the launch event right now. So if I want to tidy up the view here of that project team, I'm going to hide some channels. Don't really need to know about digital assets, web. Okay, starting to tidy up our environment so that at a glance we're not going, oh my goodness, look at all those bloomin' teams that I'm trying to get involved in. Hey Rebecca. Can't see work for the teams. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, hiding your channels, hiding your teams. So that's going to tidy things up so that you can focus on what's important to you. Remember, pin, hide what's not so important and urgent right now. Last principle, leave stuff that you don't need to be involved in anymore. Perfectly fine. Let the team owner, the project manager, the manager themselves know that you are planning to leave and that Please loop me back in if it becomes important. That's a courtesy. Let them know that. But there's no problem with me going, I'm not really part of commercial lending projects anymore, so I'm going to leave the team. There we go. Leave the team. Content's still there. And if you've been a smart organization and you're kind of working openly and you share things that you are open to be able to working with, and maybe you've got some SharePoint tricks in the background that allow this to be still available. I can still access files. But if I need to be looped into conversations again to do with that team, then the project manager, the team owner knows, hey, you might need to invite me in again. So go ahead and do that. And it'll actually be their experience too. If they go to @mention you again, you're not going to be there. It's not going to resolve, okay? So good experience on both sides. I should continue to go through and hide and unhide and all that sort of stuff right there, but I won't, because that's for another time. But you get the principles. Let's go back here and grab those again. All about live and not about perfection. There we go. Pin, hide, and leave. Pretty straightforward. Pin the stuff that's important to you. Hide the stuff that's not so important right now. Leave the stuff that you don't need to be involved in. Really hope that these tips have helped you, because right now, okay, you might be using Teams. It might be the first time that you're using Teams. Maybe you're familiar with using Teams all the time, but I tell you what, man, there's so many people that are just creating Teams all over the place, adding you to stuff. Find a way to manage those teams. And maybe you want to point them towards another video that I created about whether or not you should create a team, or whether you should repurpose a team that already exists, or create a channel in a team that already exists. Give that some thought. That was me giving you some tips around how to get things under control under these stressful times. Enjoy using Teams. You'll find me in these places. And if you like the content that I'm creating, then subscribe, like, etc. All those sorts of things. Bye for now.